The boy said he would never marry again. The old man was curious and asked why. The boy replied that his bride had already died, and she had passed away a long time ago. Ichiro first met Reiko in a deep mountain. She asked Ichiro to help her with something, and in the forest appeared a little girl. Ichiro thought she might be a ghost, and he had already decided he would no longer listen to ghosts because every time he encountered one, it never ended well. He told Reiko to go back quickly. Ichiro thought he would never see her again after going home, but to his surprise, Reiko showed up at his house. Ichiro's mother said Reiko was a distant relative's child and that she came to stay with them for a while because they had something to attend to, but only Ichiro could see the ghost. Now Reiko was getting along well with everyone, and Ichiro no longer saw her as a threat. The next day, Ichiro's mother asked him to take Reiko to school. Ichiro didn't expect Reiko to get along so well with his classmates, and many boys even liked her. Ichiro's grandfather even suggested that Reiko should be his bride, so she could stay in their family forever. Everything seemed harmonious until one night when Reiko woke Ichiro up. She asked him to take her out to play, but it was already late at night, and it was a cold winter. A normal person would refuse such a request, but Ichiro decided to lie down and continue sleeping. Reiko then tried to tempt Ichiro with food, and Ichiro couldn't resist the food. To get to the mountain, they had to pass through a temple and climb a long set of stairs. There was a dog guarding the temple, usually calm, but today for some reason, it was acting very excited. Its appearance made Reiko very frightened, and just then, the dog lunged at Reiko. In a moment of danger, Ichiro kicked the dog away and saved Reiko from its mouth. He checked if Reiko was hurt, and to his surprise, Reiko kissed him. Shyly, Reiko said she wanted to be Ichiro's bride. Ichiro was embarrassed by the kiss, and scenes like this always made girls fall for him. Thus, Reiko fell in love with Ichiro and wanted to become his bride. The dog continued barking outside the temple, waking the old monk who was sleeping. The monk realized that someone had entered the temple. There was a small temple nearby that used to house a statue of the Ksitigarbha Bodhisattva, but the statue was thrown into the valley during an earthquake. Reiko had brought Ichiro here to ask him to put the statue back in its original place. Ichiro agreed to help her, but when he saw the valley, he realized completing this task was going to be difficult. To avoid dying there, Ichiro decided to give up, but Reiko was sad when she heard this. Ichiro didn't want to see her upset, so he agreed to try. Ichiro tried to climb down the cliff, but just then, the dog and the old monk's voices were heard. They decided to go home and try again later. The next day, Ichiro was exhausted and could hardly keep his eyes open while eating or during class. That night, they went up the mountain again and found the fallen statue. Even though the statue was very heavy, Ichiro struggled to carry it up, determined to fulfill Reiko's wish. Reiko cheered for him from below. Ichiro was so tired that when he finally reached a platform, he felt he might faint, so he decided to go back and rest, planning to continue the next day. For the next few days, Ichiro would sleep during the day and then go up the mountain at night to fight off the dog, descend into the valley, and continue carrying the statue up. Reiko swore that she and Ichiro would always be together. This continued for several days, and with Ichiro's effort, the statue was getting closer to the top. Ichiro became thinner, but his dog knew what he was doing, though it couldn't stop him. One night, the old monk heard the dog barking again. He went out to check and discovered the dog was tied to a tree. Only Ichiro in the village would do such a thing, so the monk hurriedly took the dog and chased after Ichiro. Ichiro didn't have time to descend into the valley, so they had to return that night. The dog followed the scent to the edge of the cliff, and the monk noticed unusual footprints on the ground. Grandpa also noticed that Ichiro had become very thin and suspected he had worms, so his mother planned to buy medicine to treat him, unaware that the problem was caused by Reiko.